Hello, children. So, here we are again with the second part of the chapter, The Alien Hands, in the chapter number 10 in your book. And so far, in the first part, we have understood about what exactly happened. There are people who are living on some strange planet, and they are living not on the surface of the planet because of adverse conditions, no air to breathe, very low temperature to survive. So they are living under the surface of this planet, and there is a small boy. His name is Tillu, and he is very curious where his father goes through the secret tunnel, and he entered that tunnel one day, escaped from his mother's eyes and entered that tunnel, but he was brought back by the security people, and his father explained what exactly he does, and he agreed to be a good boy. Then afterwards there is a next scene which started where his father is in some big working place fixed with lot of computers and technical things and the TV screen, where people are standing stuck to the TV screen and observing some kind of a dot is showing some kind of a flying object, and that thing is reaching towards the earth, but it is still not towards that particular planet, not the earth, towards that particular planet, but it is still not clear whether there is a spacecraft or not. So when Tillu father asked a supervisor, he said that we have to still watch. Okay, now what happened? A spacecraft. Where from? A solar system wasn't known to have any life anywhere else except of their planet. The supervisor is saying, how can it be a spacecraft? Or Tillu's father is saying, how could it be a spacecraft? Because in the entire solar system, there is no planet who has life like we have. And Tillu's father recalled the ancient days recorded in the archive at the Central Bureau when their ancestor had a well-developed space program and had searched the solar system with manned and unmanned spacecraft, found that they were indeed alone. So now what Tillu's father is doing, he has done a great research and studies, and he has been trained on all these things. So he is speculating, and he is recalling all the things that there is an archive. Archive means ancient documents which said that there has been no life, but however there has been man, means the spacecraft which were operated by the man manually, and there were spacecraft which were completely remote operated, but they were sent in the entire universe or another planet, and they have all the experiments conducted by them have proved that there is no life, and we are the only one living. Now in those days, the energy shortage and underground life, they had no space program. They could only watch impotently from their vantage point. Vantage means viewpoints. Who were these strangers? So that time he's also saying that there was a shortage of energy under the underground life, and they cannot do anything because they can helplessly watch in the TV screen from that viewpoint, whatever what's being viewed. They can only watch who were these strangers and what were those dots, whether they were spacecraft or what were those dots all about, which are coming towards the planet. Now what happened in you can see the next scene starts. Okay, in the next scene there is a conference room and in the Central Bureau, and it is very quiet, and outsider would have thought it was empty. So quiet that anyone outside cannot believe that anyone is there, and they think that people are there. It was so quiet. It was full of capacity, but the members of the Central Bureau were unusually quiet. They knew that President was going to make a momentous announcement, means a announcement of great importance. So that's why this conference room was so quiet, because they were keenly waiting for President to hear some kind of a very important announcement. So what the President is saying, colleagues means fellow people, I will give you a report as I have it. While I speak, there may be a change in the situation. The president paused and get his papers in order and then continued. So, what he is doing, he is talking, and at the same time, he is arranging his papers, whatever the reports are given to him, and he is saying that he will give the report. And the report, what he told them is, he confirmed that yes, there are two spacecraft which are approaching towards the planet. One is in fact orbiting our planet, while other is still far away. So he said that one has already started orbiting, means revolving around the planet, and other is a little far away. And we guess that they are coming from our neighboring planet. How should we react? So the president is asking, now president is giving the information and asking that we guess that these spacecraft are from the another planet, and tell me how do we react. Now there are three people, three teams, rather to say. So he is addressing like in the class you do know, the teachers do roll number 1, roll number 2, instead of taking their name or names. You just say roll number 1, roll number 2, or things like that, right? So same here, the president is addressing and he is asking number 1. Now who is number 1? Number 1 is a defense in charge of security and safety and how to protect oneself. So he's asking what should we do, these spacecraft are arriving. He was known for his wisdom and courage. So this defense in charge, number 1, the code word for this defense in charge is number 1. So he is known for his courage and wisdom, means knowledge and bravery. He is known for that. And he said, sir, if we wish, we can totally destroy these spacecraft with our missiles. So he's saying that with our missiles we can destroy the spacecraft, but that will not be a good thing to do, because we do not have the capacity to make them unoperational in space. You know, but at the same time, if they come to Earth and land on the Earth, then we can make it unoperational. So ineffective anytime we choose, kisi bhi, anytime. So our report says that they do not contain living beings, they only have instruments. So this is what number 1 is saying, but that we have also get the reports that there are no living beings. That means they are completely remote operated, and they have only instruments inside that, and that is what he is trying to tell. Then what the president is saying, so he heard number 1's advice, and then he said number 2. And who was number 2? Number 2 was a scientist on a committee. So he is asking number 2, I recommend what should we do? The president is asking number 2, what should we do? And the scientist said that I recommend we should not interfere and be passive observation. And be passive means we should be silently observing them, and we should not interfere, and we should not do anything. Let them do whatever they are doing. We should be absolutely quiet, because we do not know the power of sender of these spacecrafts. He said that whosoever have sent these spacecraft from wheresoever in the universe, we do not know how powerful they are. They might have sent these spacecraft to understand whether there is a life on this planet or not. And if we do something, they will come to know that there is someone or some hidden power or life on this planet. So, and we will still in the dark about their intention, and we do not know what their intention is, whether the intention of sending this spacecraft is good or whether it is bad. So we should not do anything. We should quietly observe and let them do whatever they are doing, and let them go. If we destroy these spaceships to render them ineffective, we might reveal our existence. So he is also suggesting that we might reveal that we are living underground, under the surface of this planet, and we might reveal that okay, we are there, we are existing, and we never know what the other person wants, or other living being from other space wants, if they want to harm us or if they want to help us. If they want to harm us, then they will come to know that we are there and they will try to destroy us. So we should not do that. Now president look at number 3. Who is number 3? He is a social scientist, and this number 3 in the past will never agree with the number 2, but this time strange thing happened that this number 3 is agreeing with number 2, and he is saying, I agree with number 2, sir. In fact, I will go so far as to say that we should keep our surface active. Surface activities to the minimal, thus creating an impression that there is no life on this planet. And fortunately, our surface conditions do give that impression. So, the number 3 is saying that yes, it is true, and I agree, because we never know that the people who have sent the spacecraft from another planet, what are their intention, and if we do anything or do any activity, they will come to know that we are existing. And not just that, if we stay quiet, they will not know that we are existing. And it is good for us that the conditions on the planet where they are living, the surface condition, are not good for any kind of a survival. That means air is very less to breathe. There is no air where oxygen where one could breathe and survive. The temperature is very less when no living being can survive. So all these conditions are in our favor. So we should give them impression that we are not existing on this planet. So we could save ourselves from being harmed if their intention is harming us. Now, what happened next? In the next way, now there is a third scene which has started, and in this third scene, what happens? Tillu's father. Now this is a red letter day. Red letter day means a very important day which should be written in bold words. Red letter day, very important day for Tillu. Why? Because his father has for the first time taken him to his workplace. Okay. So, and his not just his father have taken us to the control room where he used to work, and he's been able to see the control room, and he's also observing those alien spacecraft in this on the big TV screen in that control room where his father is working. What funny looking thing, Daddy? What does it contains? Tillu asks. So Tillu is saying, this is some kind of a funny looking thing, Daddy, and what is it that it has? His father shook his head. Can't say for sure. We are only allowed to observe it from far, but we control all its part and can exercise our power if it is up to any mischief. So his father is saying, I do not know what these things are, but we think that it could be a spacecraft. At the same time, with our high superior type of technology, we have got access to the instrument which are fitted inside the spacecraft, and we will not do anything bad to them, so we should not reveal our existence. But if we see that they are doing something wrong, then we will be able to control them with our superior technology. That's what Tillu's father is saying. He pointed to the impressive panel and several colored buttons on it. Tillu looked at them wistfully, means full of desire and yearning, very curiously. And so his father is saying, see all these buttons, with all these buttons we can control that particular thing. If it's a spacecraft and if it lands on the surface, then we will be able to control that. Now, look, it's up to something, Daddy. So Tillu said, Daddy, look, it is up to something. And suddenly everyone started noticing that there is some activity inside that spacecraft. Other in the control room saw it too, not just Tillu, but other people also saw that. And every eyes were glued, means their eyes were were stuck to the TV screen. What is that thing going to do now? What happened? A mechanical hand, that is a robotic kind of a hand, it came out from the spacecraft, and it started moving towards the surface of the earth, and it started collecting, try to touch the soil. So some mechanical hand, like a robotic hand, came out, and it started trying to collect the sample of the soil, and that's what was it up to. People crowded towards the screen for a closer look. The telescope lenses of the TV camera zoomed in to the tip of the mechanical hand. So now they were like more focused, and they zoom all the TV cameras and so to see what this hand was up to and why is it reaching to the surface of the planet. So it bent and touched the soil, and then Tillu was staring at the control panel, and it attracted attractive buttons. Now, when it was reaching there, Tillu was observing all that panel and which had lot of buttons, and thinking that he's reaching to the surface, he should not do any harm, and Tillu is very excited and he cannot control himself. And what happened is, there was one button which was red in color, and Tillu was very attracted towards that button, and his excitement and fascination levels were so high that he forgot that he is not supposed to touch anything or do anything in the control room, and so he went ahead and he pressed that button. Okay, when he pressed that button, this hand which was moving towards the surface, it suddenly stopped working. So when it suddenly stopped working, everyone was there was a shrill whistle. You know, when he pressed the button, the whistle means a very pungent voice, whistling voice. It came out, and everyone's attention went on Tillu, and he became the center of attention for everyone. What has he done? You know, why has he touched the button? Because the scientist number 2 and number 3 suggested that we should not do anything, you know, to the spacecraft. We should be a passive observer, means silent observer, because if we will do anything, the people who have sent the spacecraft will come to know that there is someone behind the screen, and someone that life exists there. So his father pulled him away roughly and restored the red button to neutral position. Although as that happened, his father pulled Tillu away, and he tried to restore that red button in the previous position as it was, but the damage was done. Damage was already done by pressing the button. Restoring it does not do any help, and what happened is, the alien hand stopped working. The mechanical hand from the spacecraft ceased to work. Ceased to work means stopped to work. Then there is a next scene. What is the next scene? At the press conference held by NASA, a scientist was briefing the world press. So there was a conference happening, and the scientist told that everything has been going on smoothly with the Viking mission. So this was some kind of a Viking mission which was happening, and there is a small hitch. The mechanical hand which was to dig out Martian soil. So it looks like the people were unaware in the control room, were unaware that this spacecraft is being sent by the Earth itself, and it is a Viking mission. And that's what he's saying, that looks like Tillu and their friends are living on the surface, under the surface of Mars, and that mechanical hand has some problem, and he cannot dig the soil and cannot examination has developed a malfunction because the hand could not collect the soil, and there is a malfunction in the hand collecting the soil. We don't know the cause, but our technicians are confident they will sort it out. So they didn't tell that Tillu has pressed the button, and he is telling the people that no, we are unaware about the cause, and we do not know about the cause, because we do not know about the cause, what is the cause, but our technicians are working on it, and they will fix the problem, they will mend the problem. And then what happened in a shortly afterwards, there was another press release from NASA, and this press release happened where they are informing that no, the hand is not working, there is a malfunctioning. And then there is another press release, and they are telling the opposite thing. They are saying that mechanical hand, that our technicians have fixed the problem, and mechanical hand have started working and have also collected the soil samples, and we were collecting the soil samples to know whether there is life or not. Soon we will know the answer to the question whether there is life on Mars or not. So this hand is collecting the sample of the surface of Mars. That means Tillu and other people are living on the under the surface of Mars, and these aircraft or spacecraft have been sent from Earth to Mars. Now, life on Mars. Okay, of all the planets in our solar system, Mars is nearest in location and physical condition to our Earth. So now at the end, what writer is saying that Mars is a planet which is very close to Earth, and the physical condition are quite close as it should be on Earth. You know. So the scientists behind the Viking mission were hopeful for finding a life on Mars. So the scientists who are sending these spaceships and spacecraft to the Martian surface, they are hopeful that because this planet is very close to Earth, its temperature is although less for any life to survive, but still there is there is some hope that life can survive, like they were surviving under the surface of the Mars. But they were in for a disappointment. But in for a disappointment means the Viking mission found no signs of life on the Mars. So they are saying that we are disappointed that there is no signs of life on the surface of Mars, while actually what is there, Tillu and their father are living under the surface of the Mars, and there is life. But despite of this disorder which Tillu did by pressing the button, they were not able to detect that there is anyone living underneath the surface. However, they were able to find out that the life cannot survive because of the conditions which were very adverse. The temperature was very low, and there was no air to breathe in, and that is exactly what soil samples also told, that there is no life. So although they were living under the surface, but still they were not able to other spacecraft sent from the Earth were not able to detect that there is the life existing underneath the Earth, underneath the surface of the planet. So this is what the interesting chapter all about. I hope you like the chapter, children, and do your assignments in time. We'll meet in another chapter with the next video. Till then, you all have a good time. Bye bye.